This episode, this is the fourth time we've started. This episode of Says Who is brought to you by you through your support of our Patreon at patreon.com/sayswho. Are you going to freeze again?
Nothing can go wrong now. I don't know
Holy
how.
cow.
Keep on trying. Let's take a run. Nothing can go wrong now. Oh, just a land of freezing. It was Frozen, the podcast.
Every time you froze, though, you were at least looking entertaining.
Yeah, well, that's me.
Anyway, patreon.com/sayswho. That's our Patreon, where every Sunday you get this all over again, usually without as much freezing. And whoa, I almost fell off my chair. This past Sunday, this has gone off the rails, Maureen.
No, it's good.
We haven't even begun. And
we are
fully off the rails.
We are on Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway.
Yeah. This past Sunday, we actually made our Town Watch episode entirely free for all, available at patreon.com/sayswho. That's for two reasons. Reason one, it's not every day you get to talk about the possibility that Stephen Miller and Elon Musk are in a throuple. But also because it gives you a little chance to see what we do over there on a Sunday if you don't yet give, because normally that Town Watch is available for $5 or $10 a month. That $10 a month also gets you a sticker in the mail because you become a member of the Says Who Sticker Club, which frankly is a really great club.
It's a lot of work he does.
It's all for you at patreon.com/sayswho.
Hey, everybody. Listen, September 16th, US, September, I think 25th in the UK. You are the detective, the creeping hand murder. I gave a whole spiel about it in our other recordings that were just failed. What I basically said was, this book is beautiful. It is a full-on mystery. It is a dossier mystery. So it's a case file with a sealed goddamn solution in the back. I'm holding it for the first time, one of 4 test copies, one of 4 test prints. It is an actual sealed envelope with a claw sticker on it. It is truly an item of beauty. Like, you could buy this for yourself or someone else.
I've seen it over the transom.
Right.
That is a gorgeous book.
Now,
as somebody that really likes books and book design, that is a real keeper. Working
with an artist to make a mystery has been incredibly fun and fascinating. I'm really genuinely proud of what we've made here. This is cool. I got a question from a librarian who said, because there's a sealed solution in the back, they were like, there's no way I could have that in my school library. Those kids would lose that solution in 5 seconds. And someone said, they have to come to your desk to get the solution, which I think is a brilliant idea for a school library. So the English version does not have that. It's just like a page divider.
Because they're a bunch of cheapos in England.
Look, they're not cheapos, but it was very expensive to have them put in these fancy envelopes.
Well, all of that, you can actually get it signed by Maureen and Jay over if you place an order at the something or other bookshop.
It's the mysterious bookshop in New York City. And we will personalize. Jay and I have made a promise to personalize the absolute hell out of any pre-orders that come from this bookshop. We will be taking whiskey or some other beverage. Jay will be drunk. I will have one glass of something and be like, oh my goodness, Mr. Cooper.
You will also be drunk.
I will be wearing a giant sun hat at the end of it somehow and doing a little dance around the streets.
By the end of it, the personalization will just be you gnawing on the books.
Yeah.
You got a toothprint.
I gave you my hair.
Here's my dental records.
Do you guys want an x-ray of my foot? Anyway.
Somebody does. Connoisseurs of okay feet want that x-ray.
Okay, you know what, Dan? I'm still proud of it. Okay feet.
I know.
Those foot pervs thought I was a solid middle on that. And that's the best compliment I've ever gotten on these stupid goddamn feet of mine. So anyway, books.
If you would like To get your personalized copies, we will include a link to the mystery bookshop in the show notes. If you would just like to order books, you can always go to kickbezosintheballs.org. That is our own little bookshop on the internet where we have quick links to all Maureen stuff and a search bar where you can basically get any book you're looking for. kickbezosintheballs.org. If you do that, and then you're like, wow, I bought something on the internet. What a novel thing. I have good news for you. You can buy other things on the internet too. You can go to merch.sayswhopodcast.com where we sell Says Who merchandise. You can also go to shop.dansinker.com where I have some stickers and some patches and some t-shirts and all kinds of good stuff. So all of that is available to you on the internet, which has only ever been good.
All right. Hey, Dan, take off your glasses. Take off your glasses for a second.
Why? What?
What? Oh.
What?
What's wrong with your eye?
Oh, I just, it's nothing.
Dan, you have a black eye.
I mean.
What happened? Did you get hit? You hit yourself? You buddy fall?
No, it's fine. Like, we could just go.
Dan, what's going on with your eye?
I might have asked my child to hit me in the face.
What?
It's just a thing that people do, Maureen. It's a thing. That's a thing that people do. It's a completely normal thing that people do. It's a thing that important people do, Maureen.
Dan, is that actually a thing that people do? Because I don't have children and I don't.
Yeah, it's absolutely a thing that people do. In fact, just this past week, it was a thing that Elon Musk had his kid do. So if he's doing it.
Which kid? Because he's got like
one of them.
50.
Yeah, you know.
Was it little XK47 TRS 80?
That's the only one he cares about. But the point being, he was doing a completely normal thing that I have also done in asking your child to hit you in the face. Ask any parent, they've done it too. It's about the most normal thing in the whole world.
Dan, it's June.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I've been doing this now for 6 months with this.
Mm-hmm. I mean, not to mention the whole 8.5 years of it all.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Do you think your kid would hit me in the face?
Sure. He'll hit anyone.
Okay.
My face hurts.
Yeah. It looks painful.
Mm-hmm. It is. Wow.
Yep.
That was loud.
Says who? Yeah, well, yeah, we need to bring the energy back up again, motherfucker.
I get it. Okay.
Says who? The podcast that isn't a podcast.
Wow. It is, in fact, a coping strategy. I am Dan Sinker.
I'm Maureen Johnson. I'm fighting against a fatigue wave, and I'm coming through the other side.
You're gonna emerge stronger for it.
I'm gonna emerge with wings and a goddamn beak, like that, like an eagle.
I am thrilled that we have gotten 8 minutes in and you haven't frozen yet.
Yeah. We had a real technical difficulties kind of a sitch.
Yeah, it was not fun, but we're through it now.
It reflects my state of being right now in a way that I find almost refreshing.
Okay. That's because you're in a bit of a Maureen deadline spiral?
It's not a spiral. It's actually the rock is now moving.
Okay.
So when it actually starts to move, it is exciting. It's like, okay, now
it's not a spiral so much. It's just a continuous loop. It's an orbit.
That is how my schedule feels right now. My schedule feels like a very circular thing, but the book itself is moving. But when it actually starts moving and I start doing a lot of mental heavy lifting, I get physical flare symptoms.
That's great.
Every time.
It's perfect.
But it's almost a sign that I know that the actual thing has begun.
You're all, my body is working against me. Thusly, things are good.
Kind of.
Yeah.
I become old. old twitchy McGee over here. It's because it's all neurological.
Yeah, fun.
I'm like,
Fun.
oh, I'm twitching. I'm exhausted. My sense of balance is off. I got those kind of hot pains in the joints. That means my brain is actually pressing on the section that makes books happen, which just happened to like get damaged in the thing next to it. It's like the compartments on the Titanic. Like you can flood 6 of them, but not 8. Speaking of,
yeah, I'm what?
So we are on
speaking
a real.
Of, have you seen this movie Titanic?
No, well, kind of.
Okay.
So we are on a real circular thing of like we both work, write books on a schedule. We're on like writing the dog, making dinner, sitting down, watching our show, closing up shop around 9:30 to 10, going to bed. Like I'm like, wow, we've become like that's how it gets with deadlines.
Yeah.
And I feel guilty about this a lot. I'm like, wow, I'm the worst person ever.
Yep.
Poor Oscar has to lead this super boring life because of me, and my stupid deadlines. And I'm like, we're watching Guy's Grocery Game again. And but
I mean, to be fair, he's British. Don't they love more than anything a boring life?
And I also don't think it's boring because we're both making cool stuff.
Yeah, I don't think it's boring. It's Guy's Grocery Games.
Oh my God, that is my sports. Truly, like I get genuine. I'm like, oh my God, what's he going to do with that pineapple? It's a mistake. Saw one the other day where this guy just freaked out and put chicken tenders in strawberry yogurt. He just lost his mind.
Wow.
But, yes. And it was one of the really good chefs. It was one of those things where they have a relay and he was the third person that just got this stuff. And he was like, I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing with this. And he just threw these chicken tenders in a bunch of strawberry yogurt because he thought that's what he was supposed to do. And he was like a big Italian guy. He was like, I don't know. I freaked out. I don't know what to do. So anyway, he was my favorite. Anyway, that's not it. We'd watched it. And I said to Oscar, oh, there's this new Discovery show about that submersible. Like they made a documentary.
The one that imploded?
About the imploding submersible.
Yeah.
I kind of would like to watch it.
Yeah.
And so Oscar's family was really in, like, there's a lot of submarines in his family. His family are all submariners. Like his father was a submariner. Like there's a lot of talk about submarines in this family. I didn't know that there were going to be this many submarines in my life. But I just find it fascinating because it's a weird, doomed, millionaire, tech idiot, doing what they do. And also the Titanic, which I was always fascinated with.
Yeah.
And this story is kind of even more fucked up than I thought it was.
Oh,
because about a lot of this is about the naval hearings.
Oh,
and they interview all these people that worked on it and then the hearings about it. And one of the people that worked on it was like, I am not exactly going to say it was a murder-suicide, but it was kind of a murder-suicide because they said, they're like, there's no way he didn't know that was going to fail. It was very, very clear that it was failing, but he was so roped in terms of finances. So this guy, Stockton Rush, who made this submersible that was going to go to the Titanic. Yeah. They had taken it. They break it down. They're like, he took it on all these dives. And here we are at dive 80 or dive 60. They're like, here's the first time you hear the first major structural crack in this. And they go through it and they said, this thing, there was clear evidence from this point on that the hull was about to fail.
Perfect.
But he couldn't stop doing it. So he just kept going. But they were like, there's no way he didn't know it was going to fail.
Wow.
None. But he still did it and he still took people down.
Do you want to know something in water that's sure not to fail, Maureen?
What?
Well, Waterloo Sparkling Water, known for its authentic flavors and lively carbonation, today announced a strategic brand collaboration with Guy Fieri, chef, restaurateur, Emmy Award-winning TV personality. Today, Waterloo Sparkling Water and Guy Fieri's Flavor Town are launching 3 new limited-time only flavors. Lemon Italian Ice, Huckleberry Cobbler, and Spiced Mango Sorbet, each inspired by Fieri's personal experiences.
Dan, those have been out for months.
Well, it's first I knew about it.
I have not seen the mango yet, but I've had the lemon and the huckleberry.
How have you never talked about this?
I don't know. It just didn't come up.
I saw somebody post a picture yesterday and I was like, what?
Yeah, I've had them.
You can go
They're
to
good.
Flavortown in a can?
Dan, what I want more than anyone think, I would pay. There are a few things I'm like, take my money. Make the Flavortown experience that you can pay and do the grocery games.
That would be
Like,
good.
Have a supermarket where they're like, you can play the grocery games. You know, you'll compete against someone and, you know, you have a half an hour. You know,
I mean, you got to figure that Guy Fieri's open for this pitch.
Guy.
That man's putting his name on sparkling water. He'll do anything.
Oh, but I've become a real Guy Fieri stan.
Oh, I love the dude. Who was the original Guy Fieri stan in this little duo?
I was so wrong.
Me.
I used to make fun of him, thinking he was just like a kind of a jabroni, but he's not. He's a really nice man.
He's a good dude.
He gives all these money, and you could tell he's genuinely. I feel like you could tell from the show that he's genuinely nice.
Yes,
because shit happens during this show that if you were a dick, your reactions would be different. Yeah, and I am very taken by the fact that his son Hunter is on the show with him. Yeah, and his dog. Like sometimes you see his dog running around. He has a little Frenchie.
Sure,
but have you never seen the little Frenchie running around? Sometimes at the end of the show,
you've watched far more Guys Grocery Games than me at this point.
Truly, it is my sports. I feel like it's making me understand why people watch sports.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, holy shit, look at that. Look how much time is on the clock. He hasn't even put those. I don't even eat meat. I'm like, he hasn't even put those pork chops in yet. What's going to happen? What's going to happen with the pork chops? I would love to pay Guys Grocery Game.
Honestly,
so much.
I think the lemon Italian ice is probably pretty tasty as well.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
I think the huckleberry was fine. The lemon, I think the mango would be delicious.
Spiced mango sorbet would be very good, I bet.
Waterloo also does these non-alcoholic flavors of like mojito and rosé. Okay. The mojito, is it the mojito?
Rosé sounds horrible.
Yeah, that wasn't good. I think the mojito was really good.
Okay.
Because it's very minty, and I love mint. I put mint in anything. I'll just eat mint. I will literally just eat mint leaves.
Janice and I once lived in this kind of ramshackle house that had a whole backyard. And when we moved in, the entire backyard had been taken over by mint.
That stuff will grow.
It was amazing. You would walk out and it was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Like just refreshing. You just take a big deep breath and you're awake. But yeah, it was wild. It was the entire yard was mint.
I fucking love mint. I have 2 giant mint plants. My idea, summer, Dan, here's 2 things.
Okay.
First of all, I've had my first watermelon. That was ripe.
Oh, yeah.
So I carried that baby home.
Okay.
Good job. It was my own child.
You just need like a little baby sling you can throw it into.
I would 100% carry a watermelon in a baby sling. And at Fairway, they have a sign that says personal watermelons. And I was like, finally, somebody gets it. Somebody finally gets it. Yeah. I need this is your own personal.
This watermelon is for me, not for thee.
I can eat a full ass size, like a big watermelon, like a big daddy.
Oh yeah.
2 days.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing, like it's nothing.
Oh yeah.
Like it never even happened.
Oh yeah.
My love of watermelon is so strong. But the other thing, it's time. There's always going to be a cold pitcher of iced tea in the fridge.
Okay.
And the way I like to serve it, sprig of mint. I stick a sprig of mint in every. You come here, you're always going to get some cold, like lightly sweetened. You guys want to know the trick? I'm going to tell you the trick, okay?
All right. Lean in, everyone.
Maureen's recipe thing. Remember, like, this is my dream. First of all, I kept losing glass pitchers because they'd break. Or, 2 hot liquids would go in or whatever.
Okay.
They break. Glass pitchers break. Get yourself a metal pitcher, like catering style. First of all,
I just need to put a pin in it for a second.
sure.
If glass pitchers break with the frequency that you find glass pitchers to break, I don't think they'd make glass pitchers. I think this might be a you thing, not a glass pitcher thing.
Well, first of all, how dare you? Second of all, some of them are super fine. Like some stores like to sell these super, super fine ones, and they're garbage.
I think that's just for cold water. I don't think you're supposed to pour boiling tea water in.
I don't.
Okay.
Here's the thing. I don't. Sometimes it's even like you just rinse them slightly and they crack. But here's the thing. Get yourself, just listen to me. Get yourself a metal. I
just think that sounds insane.
It's not. When you cook with it often happens in the dishwasher for some reason. Like you look and there's just like a little ding out of the. Look,
yeah, it's because the dishwasher gets super hot.
Okay, just listen to me.
Okay.
My glasses don't break.
Right, they're thicker.
The pitchers are okay.
And they're not huge.
I was buying chunky ass glass pitchers whenever I could, and still they chip.
Okay.
Get yourself a metal pitcher.
Okay.
Catering style.
Okay.
Not only are they indestructible, they keep your shit cold, like refreshingly, pleasingly cold.
Yeah.
They're great.
Okay.
Second.
Yeah.
You don't need to use boiling water for your iced tea. Don't use boiling water for your iced tea.
Okay.
Put in, if you need, at first, make a little sugar solution at the bottom. Like dissolve whatever sweeteners you're going to use in a small amount of water.
Okay.
Then put in your tea bags. And I say, get yourself like good, decent, like cheap, good black tea bags. Don't go expensive. Go cheap. I don't know why. It's just better. Get yourself a Lipton or something. Or Whole Foods actually sells these big ass black iced tea bags. They're great.
Okay.
Put in a couple of those. Always put in, if you can, one herbal iced tea bag. Just one.
Okay.
Like a little country peach or something. You toss that in there.
Yeah.
Whatever lemon you want, whatever fruit. Cold water.
Okay.
And then just put it in the fridge.
Okay.
Cold water iced tea tastes sweeter and lighter. It never gets that burned out taste.
Mm-hmm.
It's better. And you don't even have to boil water.
Okay.
That's Maureen's tip of the day. Get yourself a metal pitcher, cold water brew, leave it in the fridge overnight. Delicious iced tea.
As you were saying that whole thing, I was looking over your shoulder at your window and your plant and thinking if you moved to that plant, you would have a perfect spot for a pitcher of sun tea to be brewing away back there.
Yeah, I've done sun tea. Sun tea's good too. It's just you get a little bit of that deeper, darker flavor, and I find that the sweetness of the just sticking it in the fridge.
Okay.
Also, what I also do, I buy up herbal tea bags when they're on sale, and I throw them mixed in a big container.
Okay.
And whenever I want to make herbal iced tea, I just grab a handful of 7, throw them in the pitcher.
Yeah. Dealer's choice.
Yeah, dealer's choice. And I've put in like the little sweetener, whatever. If I have a half an orange or something, I put a slice of orange, whatever, lemons, whatever. Yeah. Cold water, fridge. Delicious.
I was planting flowers this weekend with the kid. And he was in charge of getting them out of the little plastic container and handing them over to me as I dug the holes. And he was like, what color do you want? And so I'd be like, I don't know, the red one. And then he was like, what color do you want? And I was like, I don't know, the purple one. And then I was like, we have like 64 of these fucking things. Like, I'm not going. So then I was like, dealer's choice. And then I had to explain to him what dealer's choice meant. I'd somehow overlooked that.
And once you did that, did he punch you in the face?
Then I said, now that we're through this, I want to tell you the thing that happens with kids and their fathers. Mm-hmm. And I would like you to punch me in the face.
What did he say?
He punched me in the face.
How'd that go?
I have a giant black eye.
Right.
I don't.
Dan,
really. I didn't.
But
that was all a lie.
Also, happy Pride, everybody.
Happy Pride indeed.
Every Pride month that it's about to be June, For some reason, I'm always like, I'm not ready. Like, I don't even know what I'm getting ready for, but I always feel like I haven't gotten ready for it.
I mean, I will point out to you that in full view of the camera that I am looking at you through, there is a rainbow right there on the right side. So I don't think that it's a matter of you being ready, because I think you're always ready.
Maybe that's it.
Yeah, you're always ready.
And as a lovely private message, I'd just like to say, fuck J.K. Rowling.
Sure.
Don't watch the new Harry Potter adaptation.
Don't go to the new theme park.
No, she's a bad person. And she's really doing some bad stuff now. So I just want to shout out to all my friends out there. Fuck that.
Yeah, she's doing real bad shit.
It is astonishing, the brainworms.
Did I tell you when we went to pick up the little one from a friend's house? He's not that little. I don't know what to call my kids anymore, Maureen. Anyway, and the parents like invited us in, and we had to talk to them. And they were like, well, does he read the Harry Potter books yet? We were like, no, we're not doing those. And they were like, whoa, why not? And then we had to explain to them, because she's a raging transphobe and there are better books. And they were like, well, I just think they're great. And we were like, okay, Kyle, please fucking release us from this.
Yeah. I mean, it's impossible to ignore at this point because of just today she's announcing like some major like anti-trans legal fund that's going to be funded for like some extraordinary amount of money, like $1 billion or something. Like it's just genuinely demented at this point. And I think that fame and money, especially money, as we'll get into, destroys your mind.
It's true. It's true. Well, on the pride tip, Maureen, things kicked off right down in Jacksonville, Florida yesterday, where for the second year in a row, Ron DeSantis has presented lighting up bridges across Florida with rainbow colors, which is what happened in Florida. It's worth pointing out in 2020, 2021, 2022, and 2023, all years that Ron DeSantis was the governor of Florida.
Right.
But now, no longer. So organizers in Jacksonville took things into their own hands, set hundreds of folks up with colored flashlights, and they went a-marching to light their bridges up on their own. The first bridge that they headed to, the Department of Transportation raised the fucking bridge. It was a drawbridge or whatever, can go up. I don't mean they raised it like they knocked it down. Went up. So they couldn't walk across it. They also stranded a whole bunch of commuters on either side of the bridge in the process. But without missing a beat, the organizers switched to another bridge, lit that shit up. Amazing. Shout out also to Kat, one of our SaysWhovians, who was among the flashlight holders.
That's amazing. This
holding
is how
down
you do
the
it.
red.
This is how you do it.
This is how you do it. And it's also, to me, a perfect tribute to Pride, which, if you remember, did not start out as a parade, but a fucking riot in defiance of authorities. So defy some fucking authority.
Yes.
They're not going to light up your bridge. Light up your fucking bridge. They raise it up. Go to a different one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes. That's a lovely thing.
It's a fucking lovely thing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's 2025. Time to school yourself on basic civil disobedience rules.
Yeah.
I was just reading the Wired article today on how to prepare yourself for protests.
Yeah.
What to carry, how to carry it. It's a lot of common sense stuff I already knew, but there are a couple good tips in there, about stuff you can do.
I love to be living through this moment of the resurgence of Wired magazine.
It does feel like a very Dan sort of thing to be.
I was a huge early Wired magazine was amazing because they were just like, this whole internet thing seems wild. Let's try to capture it all. And they did lots of crazy stuff. And then as kind of money came into play, it just became sort of a like CEO of the month kind of cover thing. But one of the most influential things I ever read, this was back when I was still doing Punk Planet and working at the Chicago Reader, actually. Wired published a story called Mother Earth Motherboard by the sci-fi author Neil Stephenson, who wrote Snow Crash and the Diamond Age. And it was I don't even know, 50, 60 page long cover story where
Wow.
which was the most influential part to me. And I'll get to that in a second. But he traveled the globe following undersea internet cables and sort of told the story of those cables in varying parts. But it was the hugeness of it, right? Like, just to devote, it was probably 3/4 of the entire issue was this one story that fucking blew my mind. And like, you can literally go back and look at issues of Punk Planet where we suddenly have these gargantuan cover stories, and those all happened after that, where it was like, whoa, you can do that. And it was just great. Like, they did lots of shit where it was just like, whoa, you can do that. And it's wonderful to see them now being like, hey, fuck you, guess what we can do? Anything we want.
Not for nothing, Dan has been publishing a year-by-year retrospective of Punk Planet on his blog, and I highly recommend reading it. It's great.
It's true. I've just collected all of them. You can go to dansinger.com/pp, and they're all there. But yeah, 13 weeks, 13 months, not 13 weeks, chronicling 13 years.
How do you feel?
I'm glad to be done with it, frankly, because especially as we reached the final year, like my dread of writing about it just kept increasing. But it's good. I'm glad to be done with it. I'm glad that it exists. It was a good exercise. If nothing else, it got me writing on my site every month. And it's great to have it all captured. But now we're getting off track.
Okay.
The thing about Wired that has been amazing is just how much they are completely willing to just fucking middle fingers all authority figures right now and just report on fucking everything. And this was not a Wired report, but it could have been, because it was reported just yesterday that the head of FEMA, David Richardson, who I had never seen a photo of, but Maureen, basically looks like one of the lesser goons in Die Hard if they got old. He was in a meeting with FEMA staff and remarked, surprised to learn that the United States had a hurricane season. This is the head of FEMA, Maureen. And this is at the start of what everyone is predicting to be an above average hurricane season.
Dan, I watched a clip today from a Florida weathercaster.
Yeah.
Who played a clip from like 5 years ago. And then he said, that was 5 years ago, or that was 6 years ago. You've been relying on me for years to do this kind of reporting. And I'm telling you that this year, I don't think I can give it to you.
Yeah.
And here's why. And then he breaks down what he's like. So just so you know, here are all the specific reasons why we won't be able to track these hurricanes and give you assurances in the same way we can. We are flying blind this year.
Yeah.
It was astonishing.
Truly, truly, truly astonishing. And an incredible example of using your place of authority to get the word out, like, because he ended it with basically being like, so call your Congress people, right? And this was South Florida news, right? Like normal, ABC News at 10 or whatever type of newscast. And the only people that basically watch that now, they're all old people who get freaked out constantly by the shit they're seeing on the news. So it's like, I mean, it's really quite brilliant. I don't doubt that whatever representatives are down there are getting fucking flooded now, because nobody wants that. And to say it so clearly and so, sort of methodically. And he also had the sort of the gravity of, I think he said, like, I've been reporting for 34 years or whatever, so like everyone loves their local weather person. Like, that is, that's the best gig in news, is being the local weather person. And I'm sure in an area that has life-threatening weather on the regular, like South Florida, that is a very respected position to be in.
Yeah, the knowledge of how the storm is going to go is a life or death thing.
Yeah.
And I mean, as someone who grew up on water, we have a creek. We have a creek in our yard. We always kind of ride. Certainly my mother does. We always rode up and down on the hurricane forecasts.
Yep.
Just because water will come to our house, like come visit and fill our street. We have had water in our house loads of times.
Yeah.
We have had the basement completely submerged multiple times in my lifetime. And with this development they're still trying to get done in our town, if that succeeds, then the town itself will just flood constantly. Like it will just be underwater a lot. So yeah, I sent you that because I just didn't even know what to do with that information when he was like, I didn't know we had a.
Yeah.
Look, I know how things have been going the last 6 months, and every once in a while, it's good to know that I can still feel shock.
Yeah. And just the level of like these people are not, none of these people seem to be particularly detail oriented.
No.
Except for the incredible care and attention to detail that they seem to put into finding exactly the wrong person to lead a thing.
Yeah. Yeah, they do that well.
Yeah. The New York Times today, I just saw this right before we started recording, has an article. The headline is, "He built an airstrip on protected land. Now he's in line to lead the Forest Service." And then the subhead says, "Michael Boren, nominated by President Trump, is accused of threatening trail workers with a helicopter, building an airstrip without a permit, and putting a cabin on federal property."
Mm.
And now they're like, that guy. That's our forest guy. We found him.
Yep, we found him.
Do we have anyone else on the list that threatened forest workers with a helicopter?
We found
okay, this is our guy.
Well, we did find a real pervy arsonist who jacks off at videos of fires, but he is in jail right now for multiple murder. Is that going to be? Do you think we can get him out? Like, what do you think? Which guy should we go with? I'm loving the guy, but I don't know. Like, it's a lot of paperwork.
That's a fair amount of paperwork. Anyway, Maureen, that's the level of expertise that we've come to expect from this collection of jokers and thieves. And speaking of both, last week it was announced that Elon Musk was stepping away from his work at Doge. We discussed this on the last episode, and we even called it the Trump and Elon breakup. There does seem to be some trouble in paradise, as Musk openly criticized the budget bill currently working its way through Congress, as well as holding a bunch of what were clearly staged kind of PR, crisis PR interviews to assert that he's back in businessman mode. That whole very clearly orchestrated public relations move over the course of last week kind of came crashing to an end last week on Friday with a New York Times story that went live that alleged that Elon Musk was basically super fucking high the entire time he was running roughshod over government, which, I mean, let's be real, not the most surprising revelation to learn. No,
I believe literally everyone knew that.
Yeah, but the details, New York Times was willing to report it with such a level of detail means that they have this basically dead to rights. It included a bunch of stuff, including that he has a pill box, daily pill box with 20 pills a day that he's popping, that he was told about drug testing at government contractor SpaceX in advance, because of course you can't be on drugs and be a government contractor. There was also the detail that he was using so much ketamine that it has now affected his bladder. So that's fun. Just always think of that man as a little pee pants now. And then there was a detail which we discussed at length in last weekend's free to listen to Town Watch, that not only Musk was the one leaving the government, but so was Stephen Miller's bride, Katie, who's now working with him directly, as they say. Wink, wink.
Hey!
Oh, no.
Hey, what's up, bitch?
Amy
Happy Pride.
Carter's shoe.
Hi there. I was on vacation last week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, where were
I was
you?
hanging out at a DSW for a while with some friends.
Okay.
Yeah, I hang out there a lot because sometimes you can find a bunch of single shoes and want to get busy.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so it was cool. Anyway, I heard there were some stone cold freaks, and I wanted to come check out the business.
I mean, it's not inaccurate, Amy Carter's shoe.
Yeah.
As it seems as if, in addition to stealing millions of taxpayer dollars,
Yeah.
Elon Musk has also stolen little bald Nazi Stephen Miller's bride, Katie Miller.
I think those people are real pervs.
I mean, I think those people are real pervs. I think we're actually in agreement here, Amy Carter's shoe.
And normally I would mean it as a compliment.
Yeah.
I don't mean it that way.
Okay.
I don't like those pervs.
I appreciate that you have a little bit of discernment.
Yeah.
I never knew.
Yeah.
I'm excited to learn it.
Are you joking? No, man. I'm very. Yeah. You think I'm just interested in anybody?
Yes.
No.
Very much so.
No way, man. I just think that Stephen Miller, those balls are on ice. You know what I mean? I think he has to keep them cold. Got an ice pack down there. Something real chilly, like a little cooler. Cold and moist. I only like one of those things. Yeah. Not my type.
Okay. Well, I'm glad to hear it.
Yeah. You know what I like?
Yeah.
Low.
Yeah.
And slow.
Yeah.
Like taffy on a summer's day. That's the Amy Carter way. Shoe.
Oh, God.
They make a bad name out of shoes.
I thought you were finishing.
No. You'll know. You'll know.
Oh, great.
You'll know when I'm finishing. Anyway, I gotta go. Bye.
All right.
Man, what just happened? I passed out for a minute. What happened?
Nothing. Anyway, Maureen.
What?
In order to prove everyone wrong, the White House hastily assembled an Oval Office press conference on Friday. I want to point out that this was assembled mere hours after we recorded that free Town Watch episode.
Yeah.
So they hastily assembled an Oval Office press conference in order to refute the idea that Elon Musk is high off his ass all the time. And to do that, they brought Elon Musk in high off his ass and sporting a black eye, which he claimed when asked that he had because he asked his 5-year-old son, also named X, to hit him in the face.
Yeah.
Maureen?
Yeah.
I'm curious. I believe right after that moment, you might have received a text message from me.
It says, Elon in the White House with a black eye. Claims he asked his 5-year-old to hit him in the face. Yeah. I never, ever, ever. And then there's ever's gone for 5 lines.
Yeah.
Getting over this.
Yeah, it's true.
I said, Dan, are you okay? Never, ever, 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 Maureen. And I said, Dan. And he said, never, ever. And then it just goes on, ever, ever, ever. And I said, still going. I get never, ever, 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 ever. And then I asked him how he's going. He says, never, ever, ever, ever. Like it fully broke him.
It did.
It snapped him in a way I've never quite seen him snap.
Here's the thing, Maureen.
Okay.
Let's say hypothetically speaking,
Okay.
the newspaper most considered to be the paper of record in the United States wrote a story about you that said you were a 20 pill a day addict.
Mm-hmm.
You were high from morning till night.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't sleep as a result. You had bladder problems as a result. You were doing more drugs than anyone knew. And then you brought your employer, which happens to be the White House, puts together a press conference with which to refute all of these claims. Would you show up absolutely fucking flying high?
I watched this, and a lot of people watched this as he's standing behind Trump as Trump is talking, and Elon is fucked up.
Oh, yeah.
His head is spinning. When I say his head is spinning, if you haven't seen it, his head is on a swivel. He's looking up at the ceiling. He's looking down. He's like doing a neck twist. He's kind of looking, he's almost cross-eyed, truly.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's kind of looking up. He's jerking his head up and down, and then he's kind of making faces and then looking around. He's very high.
It's as if
not
he's
sober.
being swarmed by invisible bees.
It's really something to watch.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he's got a black eye, and he's clearly flying.
Yeah. And then when asked, how come you have a black eye?
Yeah.
His response is that, oh, I asked my 5-year-old son to hit me in the face. As if that's a normal thing.
That'll solve it.
That you would ask a child to do.
That'll fix it.
To you.
That'll fix it.
The morning that you're going to be at the White House. And my favorite part of the whole thing is Trump, who's been sitting at his little Oval Office desk while fucking Sully Sullenberger is fucking flying high next to him.
Yeah.
Goes, whoa, I didn't notice that. So what the fuck is that guy on? Because I was looking at a fucking video approximately the size of a postage stamp on my phone. And the very first thing I said to myself was, wait, does Elon have a fucking black eye? So what is Grandpa on?
Yeah.
Like both of these dudes are just fucking high off their ass.
Yeah.
Holding forth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're very stoned. He truly, also he's tweeted things in the past like my ability to take ketamine is unlimited.
Yeah.
So I mean, because he also then tweeted out, I'm not on ketamine for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, but what about all the times you talked about your capacity to take ketamine? Because that really runs in opposition to you saying I'm not on ketamine.
Yeah, there's that.
It sounds like someone who is off their tits on ketamine might say.
Yeah, that's definitely.
Just, he is not sleeping. He's taking tons of ketamine, apparently playing video games and binge eating the whole time.
Yep.
Relatable. But he gets angry that his score isn't good. So apparently he has someone that plays for him to pump up his.
Yeah. One of my favorite sort of subgenres of internet investigations over the last little bit is the people figuring out that Elon Musk pays people to level him up in various video games. And then they will release like hours long deconstructions of his gameplay in order to show not only does he pay people off to get him to sort of elite level status in various games, but he has no fucking clue what he's doing when he's actually playing the games. It is endlessly entertaining to me, and I could watch it forever.
Is it because you think he's incredibly high on ketamine?
I think it's because the games that he's claiming to be extremely good at require a level of commitment and time to get to the level that he is saying that he would basically be able to do nothing else. And while that man is fucking zooted off his ass constantly, I don't think you can say he's not doing anything, right? Like that man is busy.
He's busy.
He's very busy. He's not necessarily doing any of his 50 jobs, but he is absolutely not playing a game that requires dozens and dozens of hours, hundreds of hours to master.
He has a company that everyone hates now. All of his stupid cars that catch on fire, people are protesting. It's now, everyone hates his cars. His rockets blow up. He has dismantled the federal government.
Yeah.
He has turned into a villain. He's got 500 kids. He's got all these like people that he's trying to impregnate to start some incredibly frightening master race.
Mm-hmm.
And he's doing it all on drugs.
Yeah. On a lot of drugs.
On a ton of drugs. He's tripping balls while doing this.
On a ton of drugs.
And I think that he's doing it also on drugs that seem to take a lot of your time.
Mm-hmm.
Like mushrooms are not a time saver in terms of they are a sit down and let the mind go.
Yep. I remember when I was in high school, my then girlfriend's older brother, he and his girlfriend at the time took mushrooms. And then me and Sarah, their family had one of those enormous, like 1980 station wagons that are like basically just tanks. And they laid in the back of the station wagon on mushrooms and we just drove around. And I will always remember we passed a hot dog place in Chicago named Wolfy's that has a big light up neon sign. And I'm pretty sure that my friend Sarah's brother's girlfriend had sort of a religious moment, because then for probably 45 minutes to an hour, she was just laying back there going, Wolfies! Wolfies! She was not German. I should point that out. Wolfies! Wolfies! Anyway, that's what he's on when he's running the fucking government.
I wouldn't be mad though if that's what he was doing. Where's Elon? He's in the back of a station wagon yelling about hot dogs.
Yeah.
I'd be like, that's fine.
Yeah, that's a good time.
Exactly where I want Elon. I want him in the back of a station wagon, like, Wolfies. Oh, Wolfies, if only I could have you. I love you. Ich liebe dich, Wolfies. Ich muss essen. Wolfies. Wolfies. Ich muss Wolfies essen. Ich denke, das ist richtig. Ich muss Wolfies essen. Yeah? Yeah.
I will give another plug for the television show The Studio.
I watched the first episode.
Yeah. Watch the second is like legitimately incredible. Like as a filmmaking endeavor, it's incredible. And
so is each one totally different? Is there any continuity?
There's continuity in that they are but there is not, like, they revisit the kind of the Kool-Aid movie stuff throughout, but it's not the whole show is not about making the Kool-Aid movie. But like, there's continuity in the main character. Anyway, I'm not going to give a lot of spoilers, but the final 2 episodes, which are a 2-parter, all of the characters are just on fucking acres of drugs. And it is unreal. And after reading just how much Elon is on, I can't help but think of that show as like how the whole government works now, where everyone is just fucking high off their ass and running full speed everywhere they're going.
Where do you think the Drizz is? I feel like the Drizz could be doing something to help us.
I have every now and then looked up the Drizz. And I feel like he has miraculously not been fired. Which means he's probably not as good as we'd like to think. Right? Because otherwise I think he would no longer have a job. But who knows? I think we could still believe in the Drizz. But Maureen, speaking of Elon Musk and Doge and drugs. One last story. You might remember back to an earlier episode where we discussed at length the Doge takeover of the U.S. Institute of Peace. which involved the Doge rats actually bringing armed security guards and DC police in to take over the entire building. The U.S. Institute of Peace people immediately turned around and sued and said, hey, we are actually an independent like we are not a government agency. You can't take us over. And it took a long time, but it has finally been ruled that that takeover was, in fact, illegal. The U.S. Institute of Peace has now gotten back into the building because they took over the building. They kicked them out of the building.
Yeah.
And it was at one point it was reported that that building was going to be turned into like a Doge headquarters. And maybe it was. Who knows? There was a video at one point of them taking down the sign on the interior, but they never did anything else. Anyway, takeover is ruled illegal. U.S. Institute of Peace has gotten back into the building, and they found out that Doge rats are maybe literal because they found evidence of roaches and rats all over the building. They found water damage and ceiling tiles knocked out. It basically seems like the Doge kids sort of partied in the building, trashed it, and then just kind of abandoned it.
Yeah.
And this little saga ends with the U.S. Institute of Peace workers finding just a giant pile of weed that had been left in the building as well.
This reminds me of the dorm I lived in my freshman year of college, where the third floor was voted the guy's floor was voted most horrible floor.
Yeah.
And in the whole school, including the one guy who literally burned his own door down and had only like the partial remnants of a door as his door.
Sure.
That's what I feel like. It was it's just, they're disgusting.
Yeah.
They're disgusting people.
They are in fact disgusting folks. I mean, I don't feel like I'm throwing my older child under the bus. He is a 20-year-old dude in college, right? And
he's gross, right?
Yes. Their apartment is fairly gross. It's like four dudes. But that's essentially who's running the government now.
I will say that the one case that this is of like causing infestations, that's acceptable. If you live in New York City and you find out any of your neighbors are ranking Cuomo, it is your bound duty to
kill them.
Bedbug their fucking Dan.
Oh well.
Bedbug their fucking apartment. You bedbug them. If you find roaches, you put roaches in their apartment. Don't do bedbugs because they actually get around the whole building. But roaches, which also will get around the whole building. But there's all kinds of things that you can probably do.
We're 3 weeks out from your primary. It sounds like it's going good.
I will say that Zohan is really coming up the charts.
Okay.
In a good way.
This is a ranked choice thing, right? Or is it
is a ranked choice.
But it's a ranked choice primary. So do the top two go to the November election, or?
I can't remember.
Okay.
I have my ranking, and I know my primary function is also just to be like, hey, motherfucker, you vote for Cuomo? You putting Cuomo there? I cut you. And then you put a little knife.
It's sort of funny to me to have ranked choice and a primary. Like, isn't that kind of the point of ranked choice, is you can kind of do away with the primary aspect of things?
Dan, I don't know it, but the city is becoming, you know how I know the city's becoming anew? You know how I know?
How?
I befriended a crow.
Oh, well, that's nice. Is it bringing you little shiny things?
We were walking home with Dexy, and I found this crow sitting. He was like kind of perched on the edge of a trash can. He was going, rah!
Yeah.
Ah! And he had a little pink mouth, and we were staring at him. We're like, is he okay? Like, what's going on? Because he was big, but not super big.
Mm-hmm.
And we're like, oh, he's a fledgling. And he had a little pink inside of his mouth, and he was like clearly like, feet. And he let me come right up to him, and everybody was standing around like, is he hurt? I called the bird sanctuary. I checked online. I put it online. Everyone's like, he's a fledgling. And we found his parents were nearby, but he was getting too much attention on the trash can from people. So after I sat there and I talked to him, I didn't touch him, but then finally someone gave me a big jacket, and he let me wrap him in the jacket and pick him up. He was very gentle. Yeah, he let me pick him up and put him down on the ground where he could just be kind of pecking around. And after I put him down, then he didn't fly. Like he kind of flapped a little bit, but then he followed me around because I stood around waiting to see if he was okay. And anytime I moved, he would hop along beside me. He would, then I'd be like, no, God, I'm going this way. And he would hop, 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 hop. And he would just follow me around. And then I kind of squatted on one side of the fence and he squatted on the other and looked at me like he was my best friend.
Wow.
So I befriended a crow. But I did
love it.
Also made sure not to get my stink on him in any way so his parents wouldn't be upset.
He'll start bringing you little cracked CDs.
That's my hope, is that I see him again and he brings me a little stone.
Yeah, they love little shiny things.
I was like, is this going to end with me bringing a crow home? Because
I think it should end with you being told your future.
I feel like, I'm like, this is a sign.
I love it.
Something. I've befriended a crow.
Well, on that note, Says Who is made possible by you through your support of our Patreon at patreon.com/sayswho. That's our Patreon, where pretty much every Sunday you get this all over again. If you give it the $5 or $10 a month level, and if you want to give a listen of what that sounds like, you can go back to this past Sunday, where we made it free for everyone to listen to. That's all for you at patreon.com/sayswho. Our theme music is performed by Ted Leo. Our logo is designed by Darth. You can contact us at sayswhopodcast.com on Blue Sky, at sayswho@omfg.town on Mastodon, or you can always email at hey, that's HEY, at sayswhopodcast.com. Join the discussion on Facebook at /group/SaysWhovians. Our Facebook group is moderated by Janice Dillard. If you want to join the fan run Discord server, you can always go to tinyurl.com/sayswho Discord. Spread the word, subscribe, leave stars and reviews on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, or wherever it is that you listen. And you can join us next Wednesday. I have a funny Spotify story, by the way, Maureen.
All right.
Which is, I got an email yesterday from Spotify for Creators, or whatever it is that you have to register with when you have a podcast on Spotify. And it said, we have, we've detected copyrighted material, and you have 3 days to respond or we're going to take it down. And I was like, fuck the Friends episode, right? Like all the background music and shit like that. We're fucked. And I was all ready to write a response, pulling my old art school film knowledge out, explaining what diegetic sound was and all of that. and then
what the fuck is diegetic sound?
The sound like in the environment,
background noise. Okay.
Yeah. You basically have diegetic sound and non-diegetic sound. This is the sound that you can have.
Sorry, sir.
Anyway, so I click through and I'm fully ready. I'm like, I'm ready, right? And then it's flagging the an 8.5-year-old episode that was made sort of bridging between our 8-week and then when we committed to the whole thing, which was me in my kitchen making Dole Whip. And I'm like, what? And then I remembered at the very end of that episode, because it was like an episode that was basically like, we don't know when we're going to be back, but we will. And when we do, we're going to, emerge stronger for whatever. And I played a Nico Case song called Ragtime, which I believe has the line like, I'll emerge invincible soon or something like that. Nico is a friend of mine, right? And I'd written her a DM, I believe, being like, hey, I want to play this song. Can I do that? And she was like, sure. And so, but that's what was flagged. Like, it's been on, like, what? So I just wrote, they were like, do you have the license? And I was all, yes. I don't think I actually have the ability to prove it. So that episode might be gone soon. Who knows?
No.
But it wasn't the Friends. I didn't have to bust out diegetic sound on their ass.
For oh my God.
Well, I was thinking more for the theme song, which played on loop while we waited forever in front of that really bad fountain for our photograph.
So cheap. That is definitely some sort of money laundering situation. I don't know.
Without a doubt. I mean, it's not really laundering. They're making the money.
You have to send me
shit to launder, man.
Send me those photos. You haven't sent me the phone.
I will.
Please send me them. Send me the photos.
All right, I will.
All right. Okay.
Anyway, you can join us next Wednesday, June 11th, for our very next episode from my basement in Chicago. I am Dan Sinker.
And from the best city in the world, New York City. Hi. I'm Maureen Johnson.
And this has been Says Who. We did it. Only took 4 attempts at recording.
So tired.
We're like 30 minutes past normal due to technical difficulties. But we did it. We did it.
Let's go. Oh, you froze.
Oh, no. Oh, Jesus.
Funny. Oh, actually, you did freeze.
Okay. Yeah, so did you. I'm hitting stop right now.
Oh, no.